Hey everybody, my name is SPAZ and I'm a CD junkie. On this episode of CD Junkie, I'm going to talk about a band that has a very small catalog, but I think that they are very worthwhile to chat about. The name of the band is The Explorers Club, and if you are a fan of 60s and 70s pop, especially the Beach Boys and other harmony-laden bands, you are definitely going to want to check out. They formed in 2005 in Charleston, South Carolina. But boy, they sounded like they were just smack dab in the middle of Southern California. The first album, Freedom Wind, came out in 2008, and it is glorious. It is like listening to a lost Beach Boys album, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, leader Jason Brewer is a big Beach Boys fan, as are other members of the band. Their harmonies are just wonderful and perfect. The song arrangements are perfect. More importantly, the melodies, the songs themselves, they're originals, and they are absolutely stellar. I would say Jason Brewer is probably the Brian Wilson of the band, but like I said, comparing them like that is kind of tough because I don't want to belittle the band and just make it seem like their music is just a cheap knockoff of the Beach Boys. They actually build their music from the inside out. You know that they're just not covering the surface of the Beach Boys. They're actually digging deep into the heart and soul of what made that band great, and they're adding their own flavor to it. And Freedom Wind is a wonderful record, beautiful, full of great songs. The great thing about it is each song is sort of mixed, produced in a different way. Like, there's a couple songs on here that are mono. There's a couple songs here where the maybe drums and bass are in the right channel or the drums are in the center channel. So it sounds like it was pulled from 5 years of recordings. Like it literally sounds like it could be like a best of Lost Beach Boys or something. It's just absolutely great. But like I said, their songwriting, they construct songs so well, and the melodies, and they hit you where it matters most, right in the heart, because you feel the music, and it's just absolutely stunning. The Explorers Club, Freedom Wind is a stellar album. And some people thought, wow, they can't follow that up. Oh, jeez. Boy, they did with Grand Hotel. 4 years later, this came out in 2012. So you think that looks like it might have come out on A&M Records? Yeah, it sounds like it too. It sounds like maybe a couple of the Beach Boys decided, oh, the hell with this. Let's get Burt Bacharach instead of Brian Wilson to write our stuff, and we'll get Herb Alpert to come in and produce us, or to play on a few songs. I mean, this sounds literally like it's a soft rock album from the 70s recorded by the Beach Boys. You could play this right next to a Carpenter's album, and then a Beach Boys album, and then a Sergio Mendes album, and it would fit in perfectly with all that. Paul Williams, things like that. It's just absolutely, when I listen to this, it just gives me chills. And the great thing about this is I don't know if they were released physically, but they would release around this time period. You can get them digitally on iTunes or Amazon. They have like the Californian suite, the New York suite, the Carolinian suite, and it has like a cover version of a song from the late 60s, early 70s, plus some alternate mixes of songs from this album or sessions. And it's just this is completely wonderfully stellar. And this needs to be owned by anyone who loves just a wonderful, beautiful, heart-touching melody. It's just absolutely fabulous. Grand Hotel. And then finally, their most recent album is from 2016. This is called Together. And this is sort of a mixture of both those albums. It has the heart of the early 70s, but it's also got, more of the Beach Boys back into the mix, and still another great collection of songs. I cannot say enough about this band. That's the thing about this album's called Together, by the way. 2016. If you love harmony-laden music, if you love melodic music, if you love music that's influenced by the 60s or the 70s, the Explorers Club are definitely a band to get into. I would I recommend all 3 albums highly. Also, check out those EPs they have available digitally. You can get those on iTunes and Amazon. But Grand Hotel right there is probably one of the greatest pop albums made in the last, 25 years. It reminds me in some ways of a softer version of Splitsville's Pet Soul. You know how that album is really sounds, like it's a love letter to the times. These are definitely love letters to the Beach Boys and Brian Wilson and the late 60s and the early 70s. And they really embrace the joy and the heart of what makes pop music so wonderful. So definitely check out the Explorers Club. That's it. This is the shortest video I think I'm ever going to make for the CD Junkie series. But definitely check out the Explorers Club. And until the next time we are together, my name is SPAZ, and I'm a CD Junkie.